Welcome back to the Financial Fitness Challenge, where you break free, you build systems for your wealth. In the Financial Fitness Challenge, we don't play with money, we train it. So far, you have gone through the first module discussing what the Financial Fitness Challenge is and why it's important for you, especially if you are in the last half of your life, anywhere from 35 to 65 or 75. We even have a 76-year-old in the Financial Fitness Challenge. And then now you have also defined what financial success means to you. Because if you don't have that clarity about what financial success means to you, then you're going to be distracted looking at other people, looking at social media for the types of cars that your neighbor has that you don't have, and all that's just so distracting and childish. So you define what success means to you, and you have also gone on to learn how to become rich. In this module, we broke down all the mental barriers that have affected your money making. And then we've also looked at the seven hidden money making skills of the rich and famous. We've also looked at the importance of systems, creating systems, and not just chasing money. And today, we are going to look at the financial markets advantage, how old money gets richer during good or bad times. This is going to be mind blowing and eye opening for you, as you are going to see in a moment. There are at least four different kinds of markets, but in the game of wealth building, not all markets are created equal. And I'm going to show you that in a moment. Because the most shocking thing and the saddest of all is that there are people in their 40s, in their 50s, in their 60s, and even 70s who don't have any stake in the financial market. And all their lives, they have only known the labor market. But there are more exciting markets, as you're going to see in just a moment. So, what are the four markets that we have? We have the labor market, there's a financial market, there's a commodity market, and then there's a consumer market. Most people only play in the labor market because that is what the school programming did to all of us. Go to school, get a degree, then come out, enter the labor market. But the wealthy play especially in the financial markets, and you're going to see the reason why. So now let's take each of the financial markets. But before we do that, just some key things to note about the four markets. The labor sells sweat. And sweat is very cheap. Sweat is very cheap. Type that in the comment section. Sweat is very cheap. Commodities sell stuff, but financial markets sell ownership, and ownership always wins. So, selling time makes you a living, but owning assets creates generational wealth, aka fortune. Okay, so let's take each of the markets one after the other, and then we will now contrast them later with the financial markets, and I will show you how to start playing in the financial markets and why you should start playing in the financial markets like almost immediately. Okay, so in the labor market trade time for money. That's where you sell your time, you sell your skills, you sell your degree certificates for money. But the problem with that is that time is finite. And so you can't scale it and you can't compound time. That's it. Yesterday is gone, it's gone forever. You're not going to compound it, you are not going to find it back. And the problem also with the labor market is that your earning is capped. There's a ceiling on how much you can earn. So somebody called HR or a unit called HR tells you that this is what you're going to earn. You have income limits in the labor market. And I think that is the worst thing about the labor market. You can't earn beyond what another person tells you that you can earn. There's no passive growth. Like if you stopped working today, your children are not going to inherit that job. Okay, they are not going to inherit that thing. And then in the labor market, you're extremely vulnerable. There are layoffs, There's automation, like right now, AI and the robots are taking many of the jobs in the labor market. And then age discrimination, particularly bad, because some places wouldn't employ you if you're above a certain age. That's the problem with the labor market. Now, what about the commodity market, which is also known as the raw materials market? So, this is where oil, gold, wheat, coffee, cocoa, that's where they are all traded. But the problem with that is that the commodity market is very volatile. What gold was just last week is not what it is today. It's not what it's going to be in another 1 year. And the problem with that is that they lack upside. Okay, so there's no cash flow. The gold, when you buy it, it sits idle. Oil must be refined and sold. There's also storage costs. Even if you're storing your gold, it comes with storage costs, it comes with insurance. There's also zero compounding. Yeah, you may have some capital appreciation, but it's essentially gambling. A barrel of oil doesn't grow more barrels of oil. So the commodity market, very good. You make a lot of money there, but it is more like gambling, unlike owning businesses, which is investing. Okay, what about the third market? It's called the finished goods or the commodity market, where again many of us play. And unfortunately, we do not play there as owners. 99% of us play in the commodity, in the finished good markets, the consumer market, as statistic, as consumers. That's actually why it's called consumer market. So this is where um, goods are sold. This is where you buy finished products from China, from America, from different places. Now, the problem with this market, if you want to operate in this market, is that it's got low margins and it's got high friction. Now, compare selling books. Amazon started with selling books in 1994 or something. But in the financial market, against selling books, which is a physical product, Amazon since 1997 has grown 100,000%. You can't do that. You can't achieve that selling books or selling cars or selling, I'm looking at the items around me, selling phone or whatever, or selling these glasses that keep going off. All right. So the problem with that is that there is high overhead, inventory, labor, and marketing. They eat profits, and then it's illiquidity. There's illiquidity in the commodity market. I have a plot of land that I want to sell. I cannot just sell it. It's been out there in the market for a couple of months now, looking for a particular buyer. People have been coming. Dozens of people have been coming and going. So the commodity market is very illiquid. Selling a house can take months, sometimes even years. Depreciation is also a problem. The moment you drive your car from the warehouse, it loses value and technologies become obsolete. Who is still talking about CD? Even flash drive, which just a moment ago was high tech, the epitome of innovation. No more. So product markets grind, financial markets compound. So that my land, if it was my stock, if it's like my Zenith Bank stock or my Aradel stock, I need just milliseconds to sell it. I just go to the financial market and I sell it immediately. So the financial markets win. So let's look at now the financial market, which is our star. This is where people buy and sell financial instruments. They sell money, they sell investments, they sell risk. It's all part of the market. So it's very highly liquid because just like I talked about my Aradel stocks or my First Bank stocks, I can sell it instantly compared to if I want to sell a factory or I want to sell a farmland. And then you can also have leverage, particularly for those of us, who trade like American stocks or who do what we call swing trading, and you're trading forex. You can use $100 and trade $100,000. That is what is called leverage. But you've got to be very careful about leverage. Leverage can take you from $10,000 to $1 million. It can also take you from $1 million to $10. That's how leverage works. It's also, the financial market is also scalable. Like Warren Buffett's strategy will work if you have $1,000 in the market, and then it will also work if you have $1 billion. So the financial market, if you like, is no respecter of persons. And the sweetest thing about the financial market is the compounding. If you had bought, instead of the car you bought 4 years ago, if you had bought Apple stocks or Amazon, or you have bought Presco just 5 years ago, and you bought these stocks at 10 naira, you bought 1 million at 10 naira, like somebody did. Now, as we're talking, is 1,100. So your 10 million naira could easily have become 1.1 billion in only 5 years. It's happening every day in the financial markets. So old money knows this. That is why, for instance, the Vanderbilts, who built the railroads, make lots of money, hundreds of millions of dollars in those days, became wealthy building railroads. But their generations are no longer building railroads. They are very, very wealthy today in stocks and bonds. That should tell you something about old money. So, uh, we have financial instruments like stocks, like equities, like all kinds of derivatives, like foreign exchange. There are all kinds of markets, treasury bills, and all that, commercial papers. These are financial instruments that you can buy and sell in financial markets like stock market. There are stock exchanges around the world. There are bond markets that are very, very active around the world. What are you going to do with this information? Now, you need to create your own investment strategy. And if you are not a player in the financial market, by God, please start playing in the financial markets today. Open your stockbroking account. That is your first key to generational wealth. Opening the stockbroking account. And in the group, I have made recommendations of the stockbrokers, licensed stockbrokers that I use. Don't give anybody money to buy stocks for you. Do it yourself. Start learning. Choose a particular financial market that you're interested in. Learn as much, because the money is not in the market, the money is in your mind. Therefore, educate your mind. Learn as much as possible about the markets, the financial markets that you're playing in. And if you are in the financial fitness group, I have given you a bonus. Click on the link and read this powerful book, especially if you're a beginner. Doesn't matter if you're an intermediate or advanced person, you will learn a lot on how to earn money in the Nigerian stock market. And of course, you can extend it to the stock market of your country. But the bonus is available for you right now. So take the step, download the book using the discount code that will make it free for you, and start implementing immediately. Immediately you finish reading the book, open a stockbroking account and start buying. In the group, I'm going to give you recommendations just so that you can start. But over time, you will also learn how to identify very good stocks by yourself. Whatever happens, be rich, because you should and you could. There's all the wisdom in the universe to make you rich. If only you can take the wisdom and begin to implement it, which is what we do in the Financial Fitness Challenge. So, whatever happens, keep showing up, because you have no idea what's coming your way next. And I'll see you in the next video.